Button front. Not a button front, but buttons on the front. Cap sleeves or sleeveless options. Waist ties and giant pockets. So many skirt lengths. Crop tank or knee length. Midi maxi to the floor. Argent and Sable. Welcome to Charlie Darwin Textiles, where I have just launched the new Argent and Sable sewing pattern so that you can sew this A-line dress or tank with big, deep pockets, several sleeve variations, several neckline variations, and tons of length variations. You can truly make this pattern totally yours. We're going to get into the design variations in a little bit, but hey, if you already know that you want to explore this pattern, go ahead and click the link in the description to shop the Argent and Sable pattern. Learn more over on my website. Today, I want to give you the broad overview of this pattern, why I designed it, how it came to life, and then all of the really unique, interesting, fun features that are baked into both the design but also the pattern experience for you. All right, so let's talk about why I made this dress. So back in 2021, this is actually one of the first 5-ish designs to come out of Charlie Darwin Textiles in my first year in business. And for all 5 years that I have been in business, I always prioritize making things that I need in my own closet, that I want for my personal life and adventures, because I'm trying to build my dream linen wardrobe. And so the Argent and Sable dress came about because I'm always looking for things to throw on in the warm summer months. I was going on a lot of weekend adventures, going kayaking, going to the beach, and I wanted something I could really quickly throw on that filled a couple of functions for me. One, I needed it to be really breathable for the most hot summer days. So I wanted something that was sleeveless, and I also wanted something that wasn't too close to my skin. Of course, I knew I was going to make it in linen, and linen is naturally very breathable, so that part is taken care of as well. I wanted it to be a one piece, something I can throw on without having to mix and match. And also because I'm wearing a bathing suit so often in the summer. And then I wanted something that I didn't have to wear a bra with, because I'll tell you, in all my summertime adventures, I am never, ever looking to wear a bra. And so as you saw in my video from last week, there are tons of ways to design clothing or purchase clothing that is really suitable for going braless, and one of them is to have a fully lined bodice. That just means like two layers here, and none of the seams are exposed up top. Makes it very soft, comfortable, and adds a little bit of structure and definitely opacity to the garment so that you can't see through in this region when you're not wearing a bra. And of course, no summertime dress is complete without big pockets. And so as I designed this dress, I checked off these boxes one at a time, creating something that felt both secure and also flowy and free and breathable. And for almost 4 years, this design lived just as a made-to-measure garment that people could purchase sewn by me on my website. But this spring, it made it to the ballots for you all to vote on which pattern you wanted me to make next, and Argent and Sable was the clear-cut winner. I was so excited to turn it into a pattern because I'd been dreaming of all the different variations that I could bake into this dress. So this was my chance to play around with, instead of just a curved neckline, trying a V neckline at different lengths, trying different sleeve cap attachments, doing different styles of buttons, and then playing around with the length of the skirt is really fun too, because obviously length is variable. You could do any length, but I bake into the pattern crop top, tank top, above the knee, midi, and maxi lines, so you know exactly where to cut for your style. And of course, there are a million ways that you could pattern hack this or add your own embellishments and fun little ruffle details. I have videos on YouTube about how to add like a selvage edge faux fray into seams like your neckline or this center front line. You could add them into your pockets. You could add ruffles to the hem of the skirt. You could do embroidery, or because the bodice portion is fully lined, which encloses all of the seams inside of it, you could do something like a quilty back panel, or you could do a quilty front to it. I chose to do the back on mine, and I'll show you over in a blog post on my site how to do something like this so that you can add even more interest on your finished garment and even have kind of a fun scrap buster project in the process. You can play around it with the buttons. You could even be like my pattern tester Alethea, who folded open what was the round neckline and turned it into something that resembles kind of like a collar that's buttoned down. You could also play around with the bottom hem shape of the garment. I include a straight hem all the way around for every design variation, but you could play with doing a high in front, low in back, or lower in the front and back and higher on the sides. What I think is just so much fun about working with sewing patterns like this is that you have this basis to work from, and then you can just make the garment over and over and over again in different fabrics and in different styles, and just tweak little things about them and fun, unique elements every single time. And each time you'll get A, better at sewing it, and B, you'll get a new garment that you love that is a little bit different and spiced up from the last time, which of course that's kind of part of why we sew, right? All right, let's talk about what's inside this pattern. I like to jam pack my patterns with as much goodies as possible so that you are all set, whether you're a beginner or you're an expert sewist. I can get you there. So our sizing that we're working with on this pattern is from a 32-inch bust to a 50.5-inch bust that's spread out over 10 different sizes. And that is 81 centimeters to 129 centimeters. And as far as the fit of this dress goes, it's got the A-line skirt that gives you a lot of leeway in the hips. So we're gonna base the sizing mostly off of our bust. And the bust is just the line going straight across your nipple line all the way around your body. That's your full bust. And of course, I will include the finished garment measurements in the sewing instructions, so that way you can see how much ease is baked into each size. And ease is just the amount of extra roominess that you have beyond your body dimensions. So you can see that like I have quite a bit of roominess in the bodice of this dress. It's not sticking skin tight to me. As with all my patterns, this also includes access to my height adjustment calculator. All of my patterns are optimized for someone who is the average female body height in the United States, which is 54 inches. But most of us aren't that. I'm not that either. I'm only a wee 51 inches. And so making height adjustments actually makes a huge impact on the fit of your pattern, especially if you're real short or you're real tall. And my height adjustment calculator makes it super simple to know exactly how much to lengthen or shorten each pattern piece by. And I've got a video and illustrations that'll show you how and where to add or subtract that length from. I asked my pattern testers to rank how difficult or like what the skill level would be for this pattern, and across the board they said somewhere between a confident beginner to intermediate. The biggest challenges are going to be making buttonholes and adding buttons to the front, and doing the burrito method to do the fully lined bodice. And if you've never heard of the burrito method, don't worry, it's not scary. It's super fun, just like eating burritos, and it's going to really transform the way that you can make clean lined bodices. I'm going to show you how to bake the sleeve into that seam, add buttons in the front. We'll be all set. Don't worry, I've got you. Especially if you upgrade to get the sew along with your sewing pattern, you'll be able to see me in action working through every single step. But hey, I think even my drawings are pretty good on this one. I had to do some real thinking about physics and time and space to do the drawings on this one. I think they turned out pretty good. But hey, overall, you have many options of how you can interact with this pattern. You can do either the PDF version, the print, or the sewing kit. And I'll talk just a little bit about what's included in each one, but the PDF is the most like simple bare bones version, but bare bones should be taken with a grain of salt here because the PDF actually includes a lot. It includes print files in A4, US letter, and A0, and I am trying to include a projector file in this one. Don't take the word projector file too seriously this time. This is just the type of file I would use on my projector using the pattern projector app that's free, you know, to pitch it up to your projector. And if you don't know what I'm talking about with the projector, don't worry. But these are the different ways that you can access and print your pattern at home, on demand, immediately, whenever you'd like to. The PDF version also includes the written instructions with illustrations, a sewing terms glossary, a pattern notes worksheet, the height adjustment calculator, and access to play around with Darwin's Design Studio, which is a relatively new feature I've added to my site where I've put in all the drawings of all the variations of all of my patterns, and you can play around like it's paper dolls and trade out different elements for each pattern, put in your own fabrics and colors, and really play around with dressing up the mannequin and seeing what kind of features and color and balance you want for your final garment. Then you can screenshot it and reference it as you make your final garment. Now, if you get just the PDF version, you can opt in to add on the full sew along tutorial where I'll walk you through step by step in video format how to sew every variation that's included in the pattern so that you can go back and rewatch and see it kind of in like 3D live action how things are playing out. Now, this sew along tutorial is included in the Pattern Pro version, which is the next level up of this pattern, which includes everything I already mentioned, including all the PDFs and the Darwin's Design Studio, all that, but it will get you the paper pattern printed and shipped straight to your door in all of the sizes, in color, on deluxe paper, with a printed version of the instruction booklet and pattern notes worksheet. It's going to elevate your experience and take you offline over to your cutting table. No printing or taping involved. This does include that video sewing tutorial, and if you really want to level up and have an even more inclusive experience that requires even less shopping around and fiddling ahead of time, then you can get the ultimate sewing kit version of this pattern, which includes all the PDFs, the printed pattern, the sew along tutorial, and really freaking nice linen fabric, 100% linen, plant dyed, pre-washed and pre-softened, so it's all ready for you to cut and sew. Plus, I include any notions that you'll need, like the buttons of your choice and a really cute Charlie Darwin garment label. The kits are so fun, but do take note that the kits are in limited quantities. I have roughly 10 to 15 kits for each color. So let me show you real quick what colors we're working with on this pattern because we do have some new ones actually. So starting off, we have a new color that is supposed to be lavender. It is a little bit silly because it's not actually that different from charcoal. So charcoal is a color I have offered consistently in the past. It's my very darkest gray color, and lavender was supposed to be like a light purple, you know, it was supposed to be much different than the charcoal. But I outsourced the natural dyeing to a company in Pennsylvania, and we are just winging it all the time. I could be sending them samples so that they can show me and try it out and test it ahead of time, but I love a good winging it moment. So we just wung it on this one, and the lavender did come back not that different, but it is a more like slightly light purple than the dark charcoal color. Then we have our indigo, dark indigo blue, our light indigo blue. Then we've got sage green. It's so pretty. It's like a light dusty green color. That's actually what I'm wearing today and in a lot of my photos for this pattern. Then we've got a new color. This is another new one, Sunshine Yellow. This one's gonna be in limited quantities, only 10 in stock of this one. And it is just so pretty and fun for spring and summer if you're a yellow girl. And then this is another new one. It's a little bit different if you got ochre on the last batch. This is a little bit, I'd say like darker and oranger than ochre was. This one I'm calling terracotta. Really pretty, really earthy, kind of burnt orange color. And then we've got our basics. And I will warn you, I'm not going to be pre-washing, aka shrinking any of these last three colors here, just to kind of save time. Logically, all of my plant-dyed colors have to get pre-washed and dried and therefore shrunk before shipping because they go through the dye process. These ones back here, I have them in stock, but I'm probably not going to pre-wash and dry them for you. They're already pre-softened, but I'm not going to shrink them for you. I'll make sure you have enough, but you're going to want to wash and dry these before you sew with them. We've got our natural off-white. This is a mix of bleach threads and natural colored linen threads. And so it gives you this off-white. It's really nice. It has good opacity. You can't see through it. And this is what this example of my Argent and Sable dress was made with. I absolutely love this color for all seasons. It's a go-to staple for me. We have our bleached white, which has a little bit of transparency to it in certain lightings. So be warned, it's probably not going to be good on its own for the full dress length unless you're wearing it as like truly a beach cover-up. You don't mind that it's got some transparency on your lower half. But if you're doing it for the tank top and you're doing the fully lined bodice, you'll be totally taken care of. I think it'll have enough opacity with 2 layers of it to be fine. It's also a great one if you want to dye your own fabric at home. You can do the bleached white and that'll give you good results. And then of course we have our solid black, which is a year-round staple for many of us. Solid black though is not plant dyed. However, it is dyed with AZO free dyes. And so it is really safe for more sensitive skin. It just doesn't have that earthy plant dyed color. But hey, I love a good black. All right, I'm so excited to see what everyone makes with this sewing pattern. I already sent it through over 20 pattern testers to help me perfect the fit and the instructions. And they have sent me photos that are so fun and adventurous, and some of them more simple, some of them more crazy. I absolutely love to see all the variations of what people come up with. I'm going to be sharing a video next week going through all 20 plus pattern testers, fabric choices and design variations, and kind of decoding them with you so you can get tons and tons of inspiration. And I know that you are going to come up with something completely unique as well. And when you do, I hope that you will consider uploading your photo and a little blurb about what you made up on the community photo gallery over on the Charlie Darwin Textiles website. This is where you can see people of other body types wearing different fabrics and fabric colors and design variations in real life and what they created without using social media, which I think is a huge plus. I am fully disconnected from scrolling apps these days like Instagram. I love YouTube because it's the kind of place where you're either searching for something or you are choosing to click in to watch something, not just a endless feed of things being delivered to your brain. So that's a different rant for a different time. But what I like about the photo gallery is it's a very intentional place to share pictures when you're actually looking for that inspiration. Oh, and when you upload to the community photo gallery, you get a coupon for 15% off your next sewing pattern with me. And I haven't promoted it too much, but if you join my free program on my website called Sew Your Dream Linen Wardrobe, you'll not only get tons of tools and resources for doing just that, sewing your dream linen wardrobe, but you'll also get access to a group called the Linen Lovers Group, and this is full of over 300 members now, and is a great space to share your works in progress, ask questions about sewing the pattern, see what other people are making with linen. So you can check over there as well. It's another great spot that's not necessarily social media based. All right, I absolutely cannot wait to see what you make. You can head over to charliedarwintextiles.com/patterns to get the new Argent and Sable dress and tank top sewing pattern. This is going to be on sale for the first 2 weeks only. So up to about May 12th, 2026, you can get the pattern for up to 20% off. Totally worth it to grab it now. All right, stay tuned. I've got lots more really cool resources coming for you in the next couple of weeks. See you there. Bye. I don't know how to start this video. I don't know. Let's try a few different intros. Hello and welcome to the Charlie Darwin launch of Argent and Sable! Woo! Well, hello. Well, hello. We're back again with a new sewing pattern. This one is the Argent and Sable dress. It's here! The Argent and Sable dress is here!